So I get a lot of comments about my shed video of what do you put in there? And of course, my most prized possessions. No, but all joking aside, this is an update video. I built this shed almost 2.5 years ago, and a lot of people have been asking on the comment section, how is it holding up? What, any comments, concerns, and it's actually holding up really well. But I want to do a thorough recap video for you, kind of show you what was good, what was bad. But look at this. This is when I first built it. Look how much the trees have overgrown. Those are those same trees. So let's jump into it. Let's check out the shed now. So this is one of the cheapest sheds you can get at the Home Depot. That's resin. You can go with like stainless steel or a metal one, but I have to say my brother has a metal one. We built it together. It was A, harder to build, B, not as nice, not as spacious, and his is rusting. It's just not as good. This is a superior in my. So this is the shed when I first completed it over 2 years ago. I was very happy with especially the internal structure. And like I said, it is superior to my brother's steel shed. Now, there's obviously nicer resin sheds out there, ones that are way easier to assemble. And I'll talk shortly about some of the downsides, one being the door and the security of this. But for an outdoor shed, it's big, it's inexpensive, so it has very, very high value. Now, to get started, let's do a really fast speed lapse of me making it. And if you want, I'll put a link in the description to the video of me creating this shed. All right, so here we are 2.5 years later after we built it. And shortly after that last video, I filled it with things. It's primarily used just for storage. Like I have some apparel stuff in there. I'll show you in a second. But here's just a 360 around the shed. I have it on the corner of my yard. That's where, I live kind of on a hill. So this was the flattest portion of my yard. And if you saw the video, it's sitting on top of some pressure treated wood, and then there's some pea gravel underneath. Just showing you here, my neighbor's tree, a lot of the branches fall on it. And a lot of the comments I saw, people were like, oh yeah, these plastic roofs are garbage, they don't last very long. I didn't hear anything about leaking, but more so just like not, taking the elements like the sun. And I don't get snow, I'm in California, so it's not too bad. I added that little solar powered LED light, awesome addition. Because I can tell if somebody's in my yard. So here's the front door. I have some pavers that I had extra that made a little path to the shed that's new. And I don't have the lock on it right now, but I do lock it. You can see there's a hole there for any kind of lock. I just use a padlock, a nice thick one. But we'll talk about security later. The doors, I would say, are the biggest downside. They're super flimsy, and you can already tell they're starting to bend. But as long as you keep it shut, you'll be fine. I would imagine if you keep this open a lot, those doors would bend even more because they don't have the alignment. There's the other side. You can see there's windows on both the left and the right sides. And then just showing you the corners there. It's fairly sunny out today, so there's some light coming in. That was me just doing the joke about the toilet paper. I'm not hoarding toilet paper. I probably have about 40 or 50 rolls right now, and I honestly, I didn't go out and buy any, but I just thought it'd be funny to throw in this video. So showing you the roof here, you get the metal brackets and then the plastic roof. I want to focus on the roof because I was reading a lot that people were all about, the roof was the weakest link, and so far I have no issues. Now it doesn't snow where I'm at, and I don't get that extreme weather. Speaking of weather, you might be wondering, how hot does it get in there, like on a 100-degree day? And I'd say it's slightly lower than the outside temp, but it definitely gets hot in there. So you're not going to want to, put any chocolate in there or something that can melt or get damaged. I'm shaking the door here. You can see, if you look really close, you can see it kind of bends outwards. The middle of the door bends into the shed, and then the top and the bottom bend out. These windows are so cheesy, and I mentioned it in the previous video. They're garbage. They're a weak link. If anything, if I was really worried about security, I might even just screw the screw them in to the actual resin, with like a machine screw or something, or tape them off or lock them up. But I'm not too worried about that. Showing you the gutters here, the kind of the guts of the roofing system. It's super solid. I'm not getting any kind of loose anything. As far as what I put in here, as you see, I have a bunch of boxes of merch and my bicycles I store out here. That's why the bottom of the shed is a little dirty, is like when I go mountain bike riding in it and I still have mud after I clean my bikes off. Sometimes it drops the mud on there, or if I'm wearing shoes in there, but that's the majority of the dirt. I did put that's a camouflage tarp that I put on top, and that's just in case. I have it. It's actually a really large tarp, and you can see underneath there's a little bit of dirt, but I'd have to say it doesn't leak that much. I haven't seen any major water in here. But what I was saying earlier is with the tarp, I actually like have it going up the walls a little bit on all the corners. Just showing you the pressure treated wood here to show you that, a lot of people were saying, oh, that's going to rot over time. And it will. I'm not too worried about it though. It's not near a major structure. But to a lot of people's point, like if I used like bricks or, some other thing that doesn't get affected, that won't rot or get termites, it would last longer. So that was good advice. But I'm fine. It's fine right now. Showing you the window again, facing the other side. Here's where I wanted to share with you about spiders. I have a lot of spiders where I live, and there's just so many cobwebs in here. And I'll show you in a second. I found this huge spider. I've never seen a spider that big where I live, or if I do, I've rarely ever. But I'm just showing you that there's so many air gaps in this shed that you're gonna get insects coming in here and using it for their home. It doesn't bother me. Like there's a big spider nest right there. There's some spider babies underneath the tarp. I just rolled up the tarp for you right there. That's the bottom. And that's the spider that I saw. It's bigger than a quarter. Now, it wasn't poisonous or anything. It's not bothering me. So it's fine. But it was pretty gnarly looking. So here's the doors. Both of them open at the same time. This door, you just lock it up and down. It's got like a little, it's not really even a bolt. It's a plastic stick, basically, a plastic rod that, that's why I say, this, you don't put anything in here that's valuable. I have my bikes, but I also have a dog. So you'd run into my dog way before you try to break into this thing. And then I lock it. But I don't put anything of high value in here. The toilet paper, I leave. Let me know if you want to see a review of that bike with my kid seat. Here's my young one on the seat. I was going to do another review video of that in case people are curious, but I thought I'd throw it in this video to see if anyone was interested in a review on that. But he loves it on the back of that bike. So in case you're wondering what that orange thing was on the back of my bike. And here we are locking the shed. A master lock, as you see, a big thick one, fits really nicely. But don't think this is, if somebody just ran through that door at full speed, you'd go right through it, no problem. You'd make a lot of noise. But if you're putting your lawnmower in there or just extra storage and there's nothing important in there, go for it. It's great. So with all that said, I'm still happy with my purchase. Some details, look at that low E. They have like wood grain on the resin. I have no doubt in my mind that's going to last 10 years or more. Again, if you're in a snowy area, I think you really got to consider this. The water can get in from the bottom, especially as snow piles up, and then it will definitely affect the materials more because it's more harsh. But other than that, I'm super happy with the purchase. And like I said, it's just kind of a pain to build. But once it's built, this has been a great addition to my house. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.